Hey y'all. Okay, is this recording? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Let me put my headphones on. It is. Okay. Yes, it is recording. I can tell. Thank God. Because I also needed the headphones as a form of hypnotherapy. Hey everyone. So, I today wanted to have a conversation with you all about self-love because my last video was about self-care and me accomplishing one of the bigger long-term goals that I have been working through. Now, self-love, it's going to be a different lens, okay? Y'all know I have, in that last video, I talked about how I have had multiple different glasses, and these glasses are probably one of my favorite glasses because blue looks good on me, one, but also because at the end of them on the arms says try, I don't know if you can see that, try harder. And for me, that hits home because a lot of lessons that I have taught myself, one of them really is try things differently and try different things. Also, my body loves me and I love my body, hence why I have been doing 2-a-days in the gym, not because I am trying to be jacked on camera, but for the simple fact that I am 32, I'm 5'9", and I was only 125 pounds. And I needed to work through some of my, not necessarily body dysmorphia that I accomplished years ago, working through that, but more so just wanting to maintain my health because I am getting older, and as you can hear clicking in my wrist, my knees buckle a lot, one wrong pillow angle, and I'm applying for disability, and that is a hi-ya. Not doing that. But again, I'm just feeling a lot more social this evening because of the gym, and also because I have shaved my head. I have clipped my nails because I've clipped my nails, both hands and feet, because I have groomed myself. It is a part of cognitive behavioral therapy. You all know that I understand behavioral health, psyops, and quantum science. So what I am doing is prepping myself for extended play. Oh, I also cleaned that little buddy, which we'll get to in a minute. So to not make it so technical, again, yes, I am prepping myself for extended self-play because, again, I do not have a partner. I have already explored life from so many different angles, and because I live in the present future, I don't want to be considered an S-type or a D-type rather than just Delante, because I am just that, okay? Speaking of CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy, another form of cognitive behavioral therapy that I utilize outside of hypnotherapy is journaling. I have multiple different journals. I have a green one. Oh, you know what? I was just looking for it, and then I realized, sorry y'all, hold on. I realized my green journal, haha, okay. Multiple different journals, all right? Boom. My brain operates at such a rapid pace that a lot of times I can perceive things before they happen, not just personal, but on a collective level. So with that being said, I have multiple different journals, 3 actually. This green one is like a financial literacy journal. That is one of the long-term goals that I had been pushing myself towards because, again, I am my own student and teacher, or dom sub, whatever case may be, father-child or parent-child, I'm sorry, because I am also non-binary. So even though I go by he, him, they, them pronouns because my physical vessel is of the male, but I am more spiritual based. I understand that my spirit is genderless. So yes, sometimes I can be mother. And then I have my personal day-to-day life journal. That one is also long-term oriented. All three technically are long-term oriented because on a day-to-day basis, like I wake up, I say my 5 gratefuls, and then I always challenge myself to do, 2 to 3 different things that push myself. And then this is my TPE journal. This is my personal TPE journal because I also have this amazing workbook, which if you are new to queer life, and queer life doesn't necessarily mean sex with the same sex or gender, and it also does not mean, penetration, whether being penetrated or penetrating. This journal or this workbook is super awesome. It's by Vahatva, I believe is how you pronounce the author's name, but it's a really great book. I've only worked through maybe about 3 or 4 pages. Yeah. But I've looked through it and it's amazing. But it is a workbook for empowered S-types looking to build power exchange skills, elevate kink negotiations, and craft authentic personal paths in consensual BDSM dynamics. I, myself, am by no means an S-type or a D-type. I am, again, just Delante, and I am just sharing. I'm not educating, okay? I'm not a teacher. I just am capable of analyzing and influencing my own behaviors and thoughts on a quantum level. But this book will be a great introduction to anyone looking to learn a little bit more about their own, and I always put it into 3 categories: their own boundaries, standards, and expectations. Those are also huge components within self-love, because again, this video is about self-love. I am just talking about self-love through the lenses of adult behavior, okay? Sex, because we are adults. And I keep telling myself that, listen, and I'm emphasizing a lot of this because for me to get into my subspace and push myself, it doesn't necessarily take a lot. It just, I have to role play confidently, okay? Now, another way I prep myself into getting ready, not getting into a headspace, just getting ready to fully love myself, is this nice little component, and it's Amazing Friends, okay? A lot of folks, before I get into this, a lot of folks always see this around my neck and they think that it is my dog tags. Listen, I've gone to obedience school and I've outpaced even the mightiest of them. Because again, we're not playing the same game. I'm not playing the game at all. Just being Delante, okay? Don't mean to offend anybody. But classical and operant conditioning from someone else, absolutely not. Now, eventually I would like to turn these 3 things, well, these 4 things into a physical human because I would like to have an emotional support companion, aka a partner, because I can't do everything alone, okay? But again, that comes with a level of vulnerability that I would say I am about 80% there. But to get back on track, because I would like to keep it short and simple, this video, and if you all want me to elaborate on anything, we can. But no, that necklace actually holds the keys to this chastity cage. Some folks are embarrassed by chastity, and it's something that we don't talk about often because it is quote unquote a white people's thing. Listen, I've also have gone to academia, about paced even my own classmates. Was always ahead of them, whether it was grade school or if it was college. Hence why also I currently do not house a contract within corporate America, and why I'm looking to transition into working for the government full time rather than again being another government contractor, because I am just Delante, and I love my body and my body loves me. Let's keep it moving. This little doohickey is what I use on a day-to-day basis for me to reach my short-term goals every morning, because I am spiritual. I wake up and I say my 5 gratefuls, which I was taught by an awesome person. Don't know if I'm allowed to say their name or not, so I'll just leave them out of it until if they do end up watching this video, allow me to say their name. I don't care. There's no trigger there. It's like, just is what it is. I've come to find that I don't always want to be seen with others. Others don't, and others don't want to be seen with me. Some people don't want to interact with me, and I don't want to interact with others. That is okay, because I have boundaries and I expect myself to reach a certain level, which my standards of how, or my expectations of how I would like others to interact with me isn't always going to be met. Like I said, that book will do wonders for you all, even though again, I've only used 3 or 4 pages. But again, it's because I'm just gonna keep it moving. All right, so yes, this little doohickey. I clean this every day because this is a part of my body almost. And also because this is the smallest one that I have, okay? It's probably one of my favorites. I have its siblings, okay? And I use this, yes, for semen retention, because it helps with hypnotizing myself, and hypnotizing isn't a bad thing. If you want me to use a different phrase, let's just say it helps me deprogram from, again, the Matrix, because the Matrix be matrixing. That's why I stopped sharing videos of myself during my self-love time, because I was attracting beings who are adult content creators and who are a lot more knowledgeable in it. And I'm just like, yo, I am accessing levels and rooms that I would have never been able to, and I am interacting with white people in a rapid pace. And I don't mean white tea people, like the race or ethnicity, I don't know, but more so the money, okay? But this was the very first one I had. Hence why I would always call myself the golden boy. Now I really love this one. And this ring is actually a lot different than this ring. This one is a silicone ring, hence why it's squishy. And this one is a hard plastic. Now, the ring that initially came with this one was also hard like itself, and it was actually black too, but it broke because, and I'm not trying to say I got a big package or anything, just the compactness when you first get into this, because again, this is a mental operation. You have to learn how to be relaxed, okay? Like, it's all about relaxing. But yeah, that ring broke, so then I ended up buying a few different versions within that time frame, but this is the silicone shaft piece that technically goes with this one. But the issue is when I start to get aroused, even though I'm relaxed, I still get a semi and boom. Because I'm not small, okay? I'm not small. I would like to say I'm like average. I'm slightly above average, so I'm really great for beginners and advanced people. I like my body and I enjoy not being so big, and I also enjoy not being so small, because over here we don't judge. I'm not into humiliation or anything like that. I'm not going to make someone feel less than because of whatever reason, because yes, I even turn down penetration from big penises, because again, I'm a soloist. That is really that's all that it really boils down to, is I'm a soloist who emotionally is intelligent but gets overstimulated through touch. I used to say it's because I am neurodivergent, which is true. I used to also say it was because I had, a little bit of trauma, a little bit of PTSD, which was true. Again, I worked through that. But I just haven't found the right match. Now that I'm looking at it through the lens of present, future, I just haven't found the right match. I do actually believe I have found the right match now. Someone that I actually was working with at my last job. I was working in a male-dominated industry, aka the automotive industry, and I went in just to pay off the remainder of my student loans, and I never in a billion years would have thought that I would come across a man who was so kind, so patient, who understood me, and I understood them. It was crazy, but whatever. But yeah, so this was a no-go because super awesome, but too flexible. But the ring, amazing. But this was my first one. And then I moved over to these two. I don't remember which one I got first, but this one is a lot more simplistic. I really enjoy this ring. The metal rings are super awesome because they leave my nether regions having a cool sensation. They do warm up obviously because of body heat, but I really liked this one. The only difference with this one in terms of the shaft, as you can see, it has, sorry, it was all the way over here. Really like this ring. It's just a two-piecer. This one was more complex that, I'm not gonna take it apart, but there's this, and then you take this, and there's all of this, and so it was just too much, hence why I got rid of that. But this is Golden Boy 1.0, the original. Back to this one, super awesome, really like this one, but yes, the ridges, the design would always cut into my shaft. And then with this one, sorry for all the noise, with this one, I'm looking for, because I have a tiny little padlock. It's a master lock. I don't know what the, oh, here it is. I was gonna say I don't know what I did with it. All right, I really like this one. The only thing is, outside of the design cutting into my skin, I could not find a lock that was thin enough here to where I could loop it around, so it just hung out like that, and I didn't like that. Okay, and then I had this awesome one right here. Now, this ring is super awesome too. It is metal and it's like a clampy ring. And I really like this because, again, here the shaft piece was amazing. Even with the design, it didn't cut into my junk. And the lock, see how this lock works so well. It is so compatible with this. Now, the only thing is, though, because this ring opens and closes, unlike the other rings, it would pinch it would either pinch like right above my shaft, that little area, or it would pull my pubic hair. And I'm like, ugh! No, thank you. Okay. So I was like, well, gotta find something different. Gotta find something different. So that's when I did a little bit more shopping, and I found Golden Boy 2.0. And I really love Golden Boy 2.0 because, again, it's super simplistic. It is a two-parter, okay? It was a downsize, though, in terms of shaft size. So that's where I had to display more psychological conditioning and learning to relax a lot more so that I could fit into it. And granted, the pinching from the, what's his face, from that one, I definitely could have just conditioned myself to relax enough to not, but I was just like, nope, 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 because it was just temporary, kind of like my homes. This, though, is, speaking of homes, this is the first apartment that I've lived in consecutively 12 months, aka a year. But this chastity is a little bit different than the other ones. One, you got to make sure the lock, because this is the lock. Okay, this is the lock. This is the key. You slide the key in and you have to kind of align it. All right, then you put it in, you twist, it comes out. Super awesome. Now, the only thing with this is this little part here, because this portion isn't long, my skin, again, at the top, kind of like where I would get pinched at with the previous one, my skin would fold under here and this would move. And yeah, as you can imagine, pinching, even though I would relax. Okay, so that's when I moved on and I got this one. And this one is, again, my favorite. I don't get pinched. It works well. It does, though, however, have an oval shape compared to the circular shape. So sometimes, majority of the time, I actually start to experience chafing or chafing, however folks pronounce it. I say chafing, but and that doesn't mean that I'm right. But I experienced chafing, and that is why. And I also, again, because I am my own dom and sub, or because I just monitor my own self. I take these off daily. Also, I don't understand why people wouldn't take them off daily to clean them. That's neither here nor there. Ugh, I'm getting old, child. Let me hurry up and finish this video. So yes, I really love this one. This is what the key looks like. Oddly enough, if you are someone who lives in the Cuyahoga County, you may have noticed when you ride public trans, if you do ride public trans, a lot of the doors on the public transportation vehicles, whether it's the bus, or it's the train, a lot of their locks look like these on the panels, which is crazy because again, the Matrix be matrixing. But this one you just insert, and now you see how the lock actually, the mechanism pushes out. There's no extra component. It's very clean. I love that. Okay, boom. And I don't need to, on my OnlyFans, make a video of me putting it on because I've already done that and it's on my public Twitter. Because I'm not calling that mess X. Absolutely not. Again, that is a hiya. We too old for that. But anyway, so boom, after you slide the ring on, which also, like, advisory note, please make sure that you understand your size, because rings, if they're too small, obviously they're going to cut off your circulation. Not just you're going to experience chafing, but it will cut off your circulation, and that won't feel good. And then make sure your tube, your shaft tube, is size appropriate, or you're able to exert enough subconscious ability to relax at all times, because if not, it will feel as if someone is trying to literally snap your trying to be erect member. Okay, but boom, you just slide it in. After you put the ring on, you slide the tube on, and boom, and it locks in place. Love it. The last thing I will recommend is getting a belt, or if you are someone, again, who has a smaller member, because again, we don't judge over here. We love everybody. Body positivity is important. I am very inclusive. Might not partake in physical penetration with everyone or with anyone, okay? Again, with anyone, but I do understand. And when I say anyone, I don't just mean male or mask identifying beings. The only beings that I would not like, the only beings that I don't find sexually attractive, I'm not saying physically, physically, because again, those are two different things: physical attraction and sexually attraction. But the only being that I don't find sexually attractive are women who have an actual female member, aka a vagina. It's not my thing. And I said what I said, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if this is going to be a self-love video, I have to be very transparent. But get you a belt, no matter how elaborate it is. You can just have one that is just, it goes around the waist. You can have one that goes around the waist and the thigh, which that's what this one is. It goes around the waist and the thigh, almost as if, because technically this belt does go to a strap-on dildo. Just saying. Okay, so that helps keep everything nice, form-fitted, and in place. Also, please use a lot of lubricant or moisturizer, whether you're going to use, again, lotion, moisturizer, whether you're going to use some type of oil or you are going to use lube, because these do get, your skin will get dry. It's like wearing a glove all day. If you're not gonna put moisturizer on, then your skin will just start to get irritated. But outside of that, I really hope that this video has helped you all understand a little bit, or at least was a nice way to see life through my perspective, because again, I'm not out here educating nobody. I'm not a pedophile. And again, I said what I said. This video is long. It's 30 minutes. It wasn't supposed to be this long. It's supposed to be cute, short, and simple. But hey, I touched on the basis of at least chastity. We can get into other things at a later date. But I love y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Well, I just hope y'all stay blessed. Okay? I love y'all. Absorb all 4 core elements so that y'all can see the beautiful creatures that you truly are. That is water, because you do need like half a gallon of water a day, technically a gallon. But who am I? I'm not y'all's PCP. Also make sure you absorb sunlight, because it definitely it makes your brain operate at maximum potential. And also eat you some greens, go touch some grass, and absorb some fresh oxygen. Open up a window, okay? Breathe. Get you a house plant if you don't have one. Ferns and ficuses are cute. Let me shut up, because baby, I killed the cactus and a succulent. Anyway, I love y'all. Have a good one.